You right guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video I've got something slightly different than usual, and I'm going to be sharing with you my tactics that I use in FUT champs and rivals and all this sort of stuff. A few people have asked what tactics I use and they wanted to know, so I thought I'd do a video on my favourite formations in this game and the tactics I use in each of them formations, so that you can try it if you feel like if you feel like it, and if you feel like it will help you. I would obviously recommend you to use these, obviously, but that's just my opinion. So someone else might use this and you may think it's shocking, you may not work for you, it just depends how you play. But I feel like for the way I play, it suits it very well, and I feel like I've finally found my favourite formation this FIFA. I've chopped and changed quite a lot during the course of the year so far, and yeah, I'll get straight into it. So obviously, as you can see, this is the team I'm using at the moment. So I start in the 4-5-1, but in game I do switch to, if I go to the right spot, some tactics, I do switch to the 5-2-1-2. Now a lot of people recently have started to use this formation because of that pro player, I think it was, that used it in a tournament, and then a lot of people have used it since then. I've messed about with it quite a bit, and these are the tactics I've decided are the best, in my opinion, to use in this formation. Obviously you could use 5-3-2 as well, which is similar, but I like having the one player in front of the two centre mids, with that being Messi as well, or Neymar if you get subbed on. I feel like having them in that role on their own is a lot better than having three like just flat centre mids. So as you can see, I use drop back, which I don't like using, but the way I use my full backs in this formation I feel like is the best way. So drop back with 3 width and 4 depth, and then for the offense we have fast build up with width of 5, and then the players in the box 6, and then corners, free kicks I have on 1, and that you'll see that's I have that on every single tactics setup, just because I don't like getting counter attacks, and you still do get counter attacks off it, but it limits the amount of times you're going to get counter attacked, and I feel like you don't want to put yourself into a situation where you're going to get counter attacked constantly from you attacking. So I don't see the point in having them further up than 1, to be honest. So they're the tactics I use, and then for the instructions, for the 2 strikers are the same: get in behind, stay forward, and then the cam, stay forward. The 2 centre mids just behind the cam, stay back, cover centre. Even if I use like a more attacking centre mid, I mean Cucurella is quite attacking anyway, but even if it was someone like more attacking, I'd have them on stay back, just because I think the front 3 is good enough. Whoever you have, it's good enough as a 3 to do well up front. We don't really need to support the centre mids, obviously, other than to pass it through the gaps and stuff like that to build your way up to the top of the pitch. 3 centre halves obviously all stay back, but the wing backs I have unbalanced. Everything is default, balanced, non-interceptions, mixed attack on the full backs, and to me this is the reason why it's the best formation in the game. You get like the same sort of style as if you're playing with wingers, but then you also get them coming back as well. So don't get me wrong, sometimes you get countered, and then you'll end up with 3 players at the back or 4 players at the back. That's going to happen, but as long as you can deal with that, then I would recommend this formation 100%, because a lot of the time I'll be attacking down one side with Dest or Traore, and they're both that fast and that good at dribbling, crossing, passing, everything like that. They're so good at that they very rarely let you down. And obviously Traore, being more of a forward generally, he's got 72 finishing I think, but with the chem style I have on him, he pushes to 87 finishing, which allows him to even sometimes get in the box and score the goal, which, you know, if I was maybe, I'm not too sure, maybe Furlong Mendy, you know, maybe he wouldn't score that, but you never know, he might do, might not, but it just gives you more of an option. And I think with these wingers going forward, they bring everything you need to the table, what a winger does, but then when you need them back, they are usually there. And I say usually because, like I said, they're not always there. It just depends how fast you get attacked and counter attack, stuff like that. But that is why I've dropped back, you know, to, and the width quite low, just so that if one of them do go forward, then hopefully it pushes into a 4 at the back, and you don't obviously want less than 4 if you can help it, but there will be occasions where that happens. So that is the formation I use. Start with that in every game, and that is my recommended formation. And now we'll get on to 2 other formations in the 4-2-2 and in the 4-1-2-1-2 just after this. So we've got 4-2-2, we've got balanced, 5 and 5, fast build up, 5 again, players in box 6, same as the last one, 1-1. So pretty basic, you know, balanced, fast build up. I like to get my players up the pitch as quick as I can, move the ball as fast as I can, try and get as many goals as I possibly can. I feel like that's the best way to do it. Get fast build up on, get your players moving, stuff like that. So the instructions from this are similar. Again, getting behind, stay forward on the forwards. The wide players I've balanced. The CDMs stay back, cover centre, and then this time around the fullbacks stay back. Obviously, if I had them unbalanced, you could potentially leave yourself vulnerable and have 2 at the back, which is just pointless, and you're just gonna, it should be pointless. Like I say, you'll leave yourself open to many goals, so it's not worth doing that. Maybe on one of them, but I still wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, that's what I'd say for the 4-2-2. It was one of my favourite formations at the start, but I've gone off it. Don't really use it at all. It is there in case I want to switch to it, but I very rarely switch to it. Same with the 4-1-2-1-2. I do really like the 4-2-2 in terms of getting down the line, cutting it back, stuff like that. That's really useful for that. However, when you've got, you know, when you're trying to build up and you're trying to like get past your players and stuff like that, you want to get passes in and trying to build it up to a goal, you're missing that like attacking midfielder so much that it's just, I don't think it's worth it at all. Now, you maybe could counteract this by having, say for example me, I could have maybe Messi on free roam, you know, maybe we'll drift into the middle more, and that could help out with that. So that could be an option. But I'd say this is more of a formation you want to use when you're just going to like bomb it up the line and try and cut it back. You don't want to be going through the middle. You just want to use your CDMs and your fullbacks to pass it out wide, and then hopefully them to get it into the box. So I would only recommend this formation if you've got very pacey wingers with good crossing, good passing, stuff like that. Obviously good shooting as well if it comes to it and they need to shoot themselves. Honestly, I've got 2 exceptional strikers, so most of the time they're going to finish the chances they get given from anyone on the team. So that's a formation I'd say you'd use if maybe you're just trying to push your opponent and maybe try and get in behind him as much as possible. That's where I'd recommend this formation. Moving on to the next formation in 4-1-2-1-2, we do have press after possession loss, 4-4, fast build up, 6-6, 1-1 again. Now with this formation, it is very good. Obviously you don't have the width of your, obviously you miss out on the wingers, and I do have the fullbacks and stay back, so obviously this formation is going to limit your width very, like completely, really. It's all about going down the middle, but this is in a good way, because a good thing, because when you go in for the middle, you got more passes, you know, to be lined up, and the more passes you make, eventually you're going to get through your opponent. And I think that's why I enjoyed this formation quite a lot. Obviously you just build your way up. It's more of a passing formation, I'd say. short passes, build your way up to the top of the pitch. And that sort of comes in why I've got press after possession loss. When I've got this formation and you're trying to pass it about, you just want to win the ball back as soon as possible. If you lose it, then you want it back. So if you can win it back in them 7 seconds that your players press for, then you could be vulnerable, your opponent, and then you've got an easy chance to score. A few more passes and you may end up scoring. You might not, but at the end of the day, you're creating that chance. So I would recommend, if you're using this formation, press after possession loss with fast build up. Now, as you've noticed, I've used fast build up in all of the formations so far, and for me it's just the best one out of the lot. So that's the reason. There's nothing else really to it. That's just my preferred tactic for the offence, so that is why it's there in every single one. Now, for the instructions on this formation, we have getting behind, stay forward again, stay forward on the cam, stay back cover centre on the CDM. See, I use the left side more to attack, hence why Cucurella's there. So he's on cover centre but balanced on everything else, whereas Renato Sanchez on stay back cover centre, like Marquinhos. Depending on the way you attack, you may switch that round. You might have Renato Sanchez on your left, Cucurella on your right, for example. But for me, that's the best way, and that's where I seem to go down more, trying to attack. Obviously, if you're both good at attacking, then that helps even more. Renato Sanchez is decent at attacking. He's got good finishing and good shooting, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very well-rounded team for this formation. So yeah, I would recommend this formation, like I say, if that's the way you play. So there are my 3 favourite formations in this game. However, I will show you one more, and this is what I'd recommend if, say, it's the 75th minute, you're losing by 2 goals, maybe even 1 goal. You need a goal. You just got to go all out. There's no point staying on your same formation you've been using for the entirety of the 75 minutes, 70 minutes. It's just pointless. You've not created enough already to get a chance. Obviously, if you keep playing in that formation, I'm not saying you won't score, but for me, you just have to change it up. Even if you have scored and you still need a goal, I'd still recommend going to this. And that is a 3-5-2. You have constant pressure with the depth to the max and then width halfway. The depth to the max, obviously, you just want to win the ball back up the pitch as high as you can, just to start that attack straight away. Constant pressure helps with that. Obviously, your players, you don't have to control your players run into the player who has the ball. The AI will obviously run for you and start blocking off all these passing lanes to try and stop your opponent from getting out. Now, obviously, if you do get out, then you're very vulnerable at the back. You're probably going to have 3 players back. But at the end of the day, you're looking for a goal yourself, so you may as well just go all out and try and get it. If you get the goal, great. Maybe switch back to the other formation. If you don't, then it's unlucky. You tried to get the goal, but you didn't, unfortunately. But that's just the game. You just gotta try. It's better than staying on the same formation where you've been creating near to nothing all game. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend on that. And then obviously fast build up, same again, the exact same, but this time you've got players in box a bit more. Like I say, you're trying to get that goal, so you want as many players rushing into the box as you can. You could put that higher as well, but I would say that that's about right. And in corners and free kicks, the first time I've put it higher, and that's obviously just so when you have a free kick corner, you've got more players in the box, more chances to score. So yeah, that is what I'd recommend. So in this, I'd say keep all your centre halves on stay back, with your CDM and your both CDMs on stay back cover centre. Your left mid and right mid, I do have one come back on defence, which may seem a bit of a shock just because you're trying to get that goal, but trust me, the tactics counteract it anyway. That's just maybe a security net, so if they may have that chance of coming back to maybe save you from the counter attack, that's the sort of thing I'm looking at there. And usual, stay forward, getting behind, stay forward on both strikers. And they are my tactics. Like I say, recommend that 100% if you're getting beat with like 10, 15, 20 minutes left. Just try it. Why not? There's nothing to lose at that point. And then the other formations, as you've seen, are my favourite formations and the ones I'd recommend you to use, and that could maybe help you push on to your next rank that you've not hit before. I'm not sure if I'll ever hit the Elite 1 this year. Would like to hit it once last year, but I've not found the tactics or the team, unfortunately, that's took me there yet. But hopefully there will be a stage throughout the year where I can maybe hit it, but if not, then it's fine. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is going to be the end, so if you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and until the next one, I'm out.